What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. We are at day 2 of building the motor, the SOC VTEC motor. We took the other motor out last night, and we're kind of just doing a cleanup on trying to get the new motor fresh for the engine bay. Yeah, so Abdul Malik has been kind of buying and selling cars lately, and his engine bay always looks fresh, so hopefully mine will look the same when we're done. Look on this gearbox, this is how it looked when I had it in. That's how it looks now, clean. This gearbox must hopefully look silver when it's done. And this was the block that we built last night. Painted this black stuff on here. I think it's heat resistant paint. So yeah, I'm excited.
What I'm currently doing now is I'm pulling off all the basic things like the aircon pump, the alternator, the intake, everything basically that we're going to need to run that engine in here by bypassing all the input sensors and whatever. And that engine did not come with the alternator. Okay, it did come with an alternator, but we're using his original alternator because it's a Bosch alternator, and we're using the aircon pump for this engine, so to basically make it a complete
Motor.
yeah, an original. So yeah, most of the brackets, like the engine hook, we're going to transplant over all the small stuff. Basically attention to detail.
Yeah.
We're moving over just to get it complete like it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it to look like, okay, nah, that was an engine swap. We're trying to get it as original as possible, but not original.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you can see, engine was taken out last night. We managed to pick up some parts this morning. We got the flywheel skimmed, no? Got the antifreeze and gearbox oil. We just need to take the radiator away to actually get fixed. But yeah, so today the goal is to put the block in, and I'm gonna have to clean up the sump again, part 2. So this is what we're doing, guys. This is our pressure washer.
This stuff make it dirty.
Now when you're done, you must stand here and pressure wash you.
I'm just basically cleaning all the parts. It's a bit difficult to clean while the engine is out. Getting all the tight spaces and whatever. Yeah, so once we assemble, everything is nice and clean. And obviously with the process of installation, there will be a few dirty marks here and there, from touching on this part and touching on that part. So we want to try and just clean all the tight spaces for now, and once everything is all cleaned up, we pop it in and we give it a proper clean at Dude's Car Wash, the engine bay, because they do fantastic work that side of the world.
Yeah.
So
that side of the world is like around the corner from us. anything you can put on this flour paint before we put on the...
Must be.
I don't want the same thing to happen like how my one looks.
What is that? You don't want oil on the pan. Otherwise you're gonna cause a hot spot.
These are short one.
That is the long pole.
To get on the side, both sides here. Put it in on the body or what?
Can you use the body? No, the.
Much. Put do some Gatsby.
Jo,
Hang it
lekker.
in the packet.
Is het? Ja, dat
Met
is
zomer.
Nee, nee, ja.
That's
Dat wordt niet uit.
that's
Een naanstuk.
a naan.
Yo! Een naangever.
It's a naan.
Vanaan gaan ons kak. Zien ze?
That's good. Yeah, focusing here.
That's where we're at the moment. Block is in. Abdul Malik is busy getting his surgery tools in order over there, so he can put the head in. And what we're also going to be doing one time is, the box first, and then we're going to put the head. And then we're also going to be changing our Chamil's shifter bushes for Scala. So got him a nice polyurethane set, energy suspension. So these lock onto the front. Just get focusing. There we go. Yeah, so these are on the front linkages, and this locks onto the shifter itself at the bottom. So they will never break again. I mean, this stuff is solid. So I'm gonna get that installed. We're not still gonna do a tutorial on it. We're just gonna put it in, but in future we will do a tutorial, because with the D series it's pretty straightforward. It just laps on either side of the linkage. With the B series is a bit different, because you actually have to get it through the hoop. You remember how we were struggling with Andre's car? But different. It's one piece, so we had to grind. But in future we'll show you guys how to do it on the B series. A more in-depth tutorial. For now we're just gonna get it in. Can I quit?
Can you knock it in or something?
The towel must, the bolt must pull it in. So, you tighten one this side and one that side. And there's the kakafish every day do work nu.
Bolts.
Huh?
Bolts.
Nee, you see. Two mensen work in one car.
Yeah.
So you must now know who and what.
You're not as bad as me. I walked in my own car and I can't find the bolts.
Hij is een beetje jou.
This is the current situation. Riaz is busy putting on the driver side torque mount. Abdul Malik just tighten the rear mount over there. And I think the gearbox bolts underneath, no?
Yeah, the gearbox bolts underneath. Tighten it up.
Now we have the block and box in. We installed the poly mounts for the gearbox. Yeah, we're almost there, guys. Here's the other one. Can you believe this? So she's
I
there.
said you say that. Yeah, I don't need to.
yeah, we still a bit still parts everywhere. But we're getting there. If not tonight, tomorrow, the whole motor will be in. Yeah, we will continue with the grind and then get back to you with more progress. So guys, we got Liam. We got Liam back here. He's gonna put the CV in.
You don't have to make the inner shop nut.
Guys, if you want a job, give your CVs to Liam.
Die midden nog als de
Brent is
is
al Volse Pro CV.
Ja, dat is maar.
In and out the CVs, give it to him.
En you want the gearbox broken, bring it to me.
Okay, now we don't want it.
Over here. Oh, je bolt holder.
Yeah.
Stay like that, Samuel.
Yeah, those are the 8 balls, no?
Samuel, stay like that. Yeah. You need to stay like that. Until Abdul Malik is finished washing his hands.
They're the surgeon.
The surgeon, yeah.
Yeah,
With his gloves, now with his gloves.
Here's the gloves. Black gloves.
Yay! Just do the power shower.
Dit is hij.
Maar niet waar je weer aan doen.
Pipe might be in your way.
Er zit in je belt. Here we go.
Anand Japan.
He's blurry.
What is that? Copper slip. Must put this on the bolts, otherwise you will have issues with tighten it. So what I'm doing now is I'm applying copper slip to the head bolts. Just for lubrication purposes. You don't want the thread to be tightened dry. Otherwise you get like creaking sounds and possible that the bolt could snap due to the thread locking up due to it being dry. So what would happen is the thread wouldn't be tightened, or the bolt wouldn't be tightened properly. The thread would lock up, and what would happen is it would actually twist and snap in between, in the center of the bolt. So over experience that I've had, I prefer to lubricate it. Look, you can tighten it without lubrication, but I just be rather safe than sorry when it comes to stuff like this, because the last thing you want to happen is the bolt to snap inside the head.
Oh yeah.
And then the head must come off, the block must be sent to someone that can draw the head bolt out, and trust me, that is one last you don't want. Season 3. When tightening a cylinder head, you want to do it in a special sequence to tighten down the gasket, or have the gasket be seated on the block properly. Basically, so what you want to do is you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do it in that sequence, therefore the gasket will be seated down evenly across. Instead of doing it from the outside in or just any random bolt, you'll have possible causes where the gasket will blow, or you'll have misfires, or the coolant will leak into the oil chamber. Anything is possible, but yeah, that's what you should do, tightening down the cylinder head. Also another thing, if you guys check here, it's an app called On Database. Let's get it to focus quickly. on database. So with the on database, you have your engines, ECU fault codes, OBD1, OBD2, cell codes, and OBD0. You have an ECU list, you have a transmission and tech section. So with tech sections, you have your bearing thickness chart, ECU pinouts, and torque specs. Then we go into torque specs, T-series torque specs, and you have every single torque spec there is for the T-series engine. And there you can see the numbers 1 to 10 in the way you torque it. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The cylinder head bolts over here is the torque specs we're going to use. So in this case, it's a 3-step. The D16Y8. So step 1 we're going to do 20 Newton meters. Step 2 we're going to do 49. And step 3 we are going to do 66 Newton meters. In the order from 1 to 10. On your torque range, you want to use torque, Newton meters, and not pounds, because that isn't the unit of measurement that we use here. So we want to adjust our torque range. It's currently now on 28. So we're going to go down 26, 24, 22, and 20. 20? Yeah, 20 Newton meters. With the key at the bottom, we're going to lock it up. I won't say no. You want some soup? Okay, so we're going to go on bolt number 1. Torque it down to 20. You'll hear a click once it's reached the torque that you set it to. And bolt number 10. We got about 80% of everything linked up, plugged in, clamped up. So what I'm doing now is I'm putting on the timing belt. And another trick with installing the timing belt is the writing on the timing belt. You should install it the way the engine turns, but the writing must turn the way the engine turns. So we would read it from left to right, and the engine on this car turns anti-clockwise, not anti-clockwise, but because everything is on the right hand side, it turns anti-clockwise. So we have to put the belt on in this way so that it goes in the direction that we read it. That's just another trick that I've picked up with timing belts. And the way that it wears down. So yeah, and I need to put timing in, so with the timing marks and etc. So what we're gonna need to do is we're gonna need to line up the cylinder head with the timing marks. Yo, it jumped exactly into place. The timing marks are lining up. And now we need to move the bottom.
That's the crank bolt, no?
The crank bolt. What I need to do now is I need to get the bottom on TDC.
Timing mark on there.
So with these on this on the head,
No, on the crank.
Oh, on the crank. So I don't know if you can see so well, but on the oil pump there is an arrow pointing pointing towards the pulley, and on the pulley there is like a small slit on the pulley itself that lines up with that arrow on the crank. With the cam over here we have this indicator on the inside cover, and on the cam pulley we have a line or a cutout on the pulley that lines up with the indicator, and as well here on top we have the word up, which is supposed to be up. Yeah, so I have my bottom lined up, the groove lined up with the arrow. I have my top lining up with the indicator. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the bolt on.
So the belt goes over the water pump, over the cam.
Over the water pump, over the cam, over the tensioner. And
But the back of the belt goes over the tension.
the back of the bolt.
So just loosening the tensioner so that the belt has a bit more freeway. It's also good that the belt is tight, but
I will tell you to turn and push it.
if it's loose, then you know that's the problem.
Yeah. Next step now. Once your timing marks are lining up, you can go ahead and tighten your tensioner bolt, because on these tensioners there is a spring, and that spring gives the bolt just the right amount of tension that you need.
Is that this one here?
That spring over there. It gives the bolt just enough tension that it needs. Instead of you putting in like a pry bar
I think.
or a crowbar.
Guys, if you're hearing other sounds, you know, wondering what's going on.
Okay, wait.
There's Liam and Riaz busy installing the CV over here. Somehow the CV is not clicking in, or what? What's the
Yeah,
problem?
the inner progress update. It's looking good, it's looking golden. It looks like startup is possible today. Let's just see now. So we're just double checking some things here. All linkages on. Shamasuma went ahead and changed its upper control arm one time. Brand new piece. Poly bushes are also fitted. So yeah. Soon. Soon, my friend.
In the late hours of the night, we had some issues, but we managed to get things sorted. So, how much percent are we now on, Abdul Malik?
We're almost there.
Yeah, so we're planning on doing a first start tonight. Just test, see if everything works. Abdul Malik put the oil in already. So, yeah, really hope this car starts. Yep, everything's now assembled. Gearbox in, distributor busy sorting out. Liam is busy sorting out the CV, and yeah, as soon as we get the first start, we'll hopefully record it and not miss it. Okay guys, this is test start number 1.
This story.
Go. Hey, start.
Yo guys, day number 3, the final day.
Okay, number 3, yeah.
So late last night we managed to get the car to start. Now we're just gonna put in the fluids and
The exhaust manifold.
the exhaust manifold over there.
And just the extra pulse, whatever.
We should be driving today, I hope.
That's definitely.
So yeah, we're still waiting on Liam and Riaz to come through, and then we're good to go. But in the meantime, me and Abdul Malik will start working on the car. Abdul Malik got the power steering connected, the aircon, the alternator, all those belts are on. So now it's just the exhaust manifold, and after this we're gonna put in the gearbox oil and then put in the radiator. We trying to go for our second startup with the exhaust on. Hopefully we won't wake neighbors.
Yeah, we have a gearbox oil in, all our pulse is on, exhaust is on. The only thing I didn't turn in yet is coolant, but due to there being foreign particles within the water channels, so we're forced to kind of flush out the entire engine before we throw the proper coolant in. Therefore, will prevent the radiator from blocking up over time and any other unnecessary things which we don't want. So yeah, I think we'll go for that second starter. Where's the pump? Intake.
Yes, listen.
You
Now
swing.
another exhaust.
At the exhaust. Alright. I'm setting the distributor to in center, because center is usually a startup setting. The finer tunings will have to be done with the timing light, which unfortunately we do not have. Huh?
Start number 3.
Wait, mobilizer. Shocking.
Go. Go. 3. I knew it. Exactly, yeah, I exactly knew what was gonna happen.
What now?
That's number 3 lead, man. That's really the problem.
You made some water here?
Wait.
Where are you working?
Oh,
On the radiator?
I'm eating.
On the bottom thing?
I'm eating.
Ice pressure.
So guys,
Now,
after a lot of trial and error, we got Fadil in over here behind Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik, can you explain what the problem was?
so when we installed everything, cylinder 2 and 3, the plug leads were the opposite from each other. Therefore the car had like a bad like misfire, and it was very aggressive when it idled and revved up. So for a second opinion, we got Fadil over. Fadil helped us out, got the thing started, idling perfect. We can wait now for the fan to come on.
Yeah, Fadil also has a sub VTEC head, so that's why he kind of figured out what the issue was. Yeah, short Fadil.
So basically what's happening is, Abdul Malik,
What's happening is the water, unfortunately, is seeping into the combustion chamber through cylinder number 4. So the air has to be sent away to engineers, because what we found in the head, there was like a small chip or groove inside of the head, or at the base of the head, where it meets the head gasket. Problem with that is, when we checked while the head was off, the gasket lined up in a way to avoid it from blowing. But once the head was installed and everything pulled straight through the dowels, it reached the sealing point, and unfortunately it seeped through
yeah.
and didn't seal
So
properly.
it basically seated the gasket in its proper position, and that moved it away, out of the way of that little divotchy, if you can call it.
That unfortunately fell in the cylinder's groove.
Yeah. So the head is not cracked or anything like that. It was basically just that little chip, and that was
Just for that, you
probably
just need to skim it, or
probably
while
due
it's skimmed.
to how they removed the head previously. Because when we picked up the motor, unfortunately we don't have that footage anymore, but when we picked up the motor, it was in 2 parts already. And the reason why is it was so that they could transport the motor from the guy's place in a boot, which made it easier for us also to transport, but I mean, it's just how they took it apart. So that's the only issue. The head now needs to go to engineers, needs to be welded and then skimmed, which we were trying to avoid ultimately because it was still fresh, but anyway, yeah, so it goes. Camille, you want to close off there for us?
Guys, so this will be it for today. We thought we got far, but it's another step back.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, you did get far.
Yeah, no, we did get far. Obviously, the car started and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, we just ran into that issue.
Yeah.
But it's good we picked it up now.
Yeah.
Um,
Instead of while you were on the road.
yeah.
Yeah. Because like Fadil also said, you could have ended up with a what? Hydrolock?
Yeah, I don't know what
Yeah.
the lock means. I still don't know what it means, but
It's basically like the same when the guys run their stacks out the lights and water goes in it. And you can say bye bye to your motor.
okay. Now I want to say hello to the motor, not bye.
Yeah. Huh?
Maybe take it.
Nah, yeah, it's totally different to my one.
That's got another 12 hours, bro.
That's it. But yeah guys, so Fadil Abdul Malik is removing the head. We're going to send the head away through to the engineers. We're going to speak to Booney about the engineers because he obviously has these guys. We trust him too. And then we're going to have to end the chapter from here, and then we'll pick up once again from there. Once the head is back and reinstalled. Other than that, we'll catch you guys soon. Say goodbye.
Peace.
Say goodbye Fadil. Say goodbye Abdul Malik.
Cheers.
That's Liam, say goodbye, are they? Say goodbye. Bye.